Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate everyone's support who's been watching my videos so far. If this is your first video, thanks for tuning in. This is chapter 3 of It's Not That Bad to Lose Your Mind, a story that I wrote back in high school. I think I was 15 when I started writing this, so you might want to go back to my first video and watch that. That's the prologue, and then watch the videos following up to this. But for today, we are on chapter 3 of It's Not That Bad to Lose Your Mind. I wrote this July 1st, 2014, sorry. So yeah, I was 15 when I wrote this. So without further ado, I guess we'll get right into it. So this is chapter 3, 4 months later. Lillian, where are you? Rory sang. Sorry, I guess I should have sang that. Skipping around the garden of the institution they kept her in. After only 4 months, she was showing remarkable improvement. She was a healthy weight and had regained a nice color. Her hair had gotten some shine, and they had discovered that she was very much a people person. The only thing wrong about Rory was her mind. She refused to take the medicine that the scientists said would help her, and she believed them. She wanted to get rid of the visions and the ghosts that Lillian accidentally let seep through the cracks. She wanted the blood on the walls with their cryptic messages and the strange music that only she could hear to disappear for good. She wanted to be normal, but she didn't want to lose Lillian. Lillian explained that if Rory took the medicine, that she would disappear, and Rory would not let that happen. Lillian was her protector, and while Asher may have assumed that role in the real world, in the spirit world, the ghosts would still attack her. Lillian, Rory called again. Yes, Aurora. Lillian was the only one who still called her Aurora. Of course, only 3 other people knew her location, so she wasn't sure who all would call her Aurora. Lillian then appeared, dressed in a gown of deep violet and with crystals dripping from her ears, and smiled at Rory. I'm sorry, dear, I couldn't hear you. That's fine, Rory replied and sat with her legs crossed on the ground. I was just hoping that you could tell me my age now. Oh, Aurora, I wish I could. Lillian flashed her a sympathetic smile. But that will come to you when you are ready. Pretty please, Lillian. Pretty, pretty, pretty please. Rory begged. Aurora, Lillian reprimanded. It's not my place. I just follow the rules of the stars. Rory sighed at Lillian's star's excuse again, but knew better than to argue with her. Instead, she tried a different approach. Can you at least tell me my birthday? She asked. Lillian paused and closed her eyes. She placed a delicate finger to her chin and crumpled her forehead in thought. Rory held her breath hopefully and clasped her hands together. She just knew that if she found out her birthday, she would be able to figure out her age. Asher and Gray hadn't managed to find any files on her yet because they needed the permission of Kadiring, since that's where she was born. But since Tsar Elias didn't want anyone to know she was alive, they were having trouble getting the files. That is a lengthy sentence. That should have been broken up. The stars say that you may know the date of your birth. This is Lillian speaking. Yes, Rory exclaimed and hopped up, dancing around Lillian happily. Lillian smiled at the girl's antics and shook her head fondly. If this is how you react to being allowed to hear it, I can't wait to see what you do when you find out your birthday. Oh, right, of course. Rory sat back down and leaned forward eagerly. Well, you were born on April 4th. Oh my goodness, Rory shot up. I have to go ask Asher the date. Then maybe I can find out how old I am. Thank you so much, Lillian. I have to go. Bye. Rory ran off to the library/control room. Oh my goodness. Rory imagined it was like the room that the president always went to whenever tragedy struck when America still existed. She had read about it in a book and liked to imagine that the place she stayed now was a very small, modern America. Asher, Asher, Rory shouted as she ran through the institution. Rory, princess, what is it? Asher ran out of a room with shaving cream half on his face. Rory giggled at him. What's with your face? What? Nothing. I was shaving. Now what's with your screaming? Asher asked, growing increasingly frustrated. I want to know the date, Rory stated. That's it? Yes. You nearly gave me a heart attack for the date? Yes. Asher sighed and rubbed his face. It's October 21st. Was that all that you needed? Yes, my birthday is April 4th. She started to skip away, but Asher grabbed her arm. How did you find that out? Lillian. God, she gives me the creeps. He said... I put that in present tense. It should be in past tense. He said as a shudder passed through him, why don't you go to the library? Read. Do something, okay? Okay, she said, and then skipped off to the library. All right, sir. Sorry, this is page break. All right, sir. Yes, we'll move her right away. What are we supposed to tell her story is? Yes, okay, we'll come up with something. Do you want us to try to keep her away from your children? All right, sir, we'll treat her as a normal person. Near the infirmary? I'll make sure you have a person ready for her 24/7. Yes, sir, we'll leave tomorrow. Okay, sir, goodbye. Gray hung up the phone and turned to Asher. We're moving her? Asher asked. He'd managed to wipe off the shaving cream. Yes, Novel Europe declared war. On who? On everyone. And that is the end of the chapter. That is the shortest chapter yet. So let's talk through this chapter. Point of that, I do like the ending. If I were to go back and rewrite this, I would probably rewrite the beginning. I don't know what I do. I don't know what I would do, but I mean, this is kind of weird to just kind of shift forward 4 months and then have them interacting and then suddenly they're moving her to a completely different place. I don't know why I wouldn't have just sent her to this completely different place instead of having this kind of middleman area. So if I were to rewrite this, that would definitely need a lot of reworking. But other than that, I mean, it's not terrible. I think to make it better, I would need more chapters with Lillian to establish that kind of trust between Lillian and Rory, other than just skipping 4 months, whereas you've had these 4 months to build this relationship. So maybe showing that more. I suppose I could kind of do like what Twilight did, or New Moon did, when it's like Edward leaves and then it's like September, October, November, December, January. And instead of just skipping through those months, I could like have maybe like, you know, I actually kind of like that. At the very beginning, I could have the month or whatever it is, and with the year, and then have that whole prologue. And then again, the month to show maybe how much time has passed from the prologue to the first chapter. And then, yeah, I kind of like that. And then just have a couple chapters where it's like the month and this thing happens, and then another month. So yeah, I would probably put in more stuff between Rory and Lillian, and then Asher and Gray, because Rory grows really close with them, I remember. And then I do remember that in like, I think the next chapter maybe, they send her away because they have to go fight in the war. So I would like to show that those relationships being built if I were to rewrite this. And I might not, I'm not sure. That's all I really have for this video. So thanks for watching. I really appreciate everyone's support and watching and everything. It's just great. I'm really hoping to build my channel. I'm loving rereading these stories, even if they are kind of cringy. But we're nearing the end of It's Not That Bad to Lose Your Mind. So next up will be Pretending to be Catherine Scott's, which I will explain. That one is wild, I have to say. I don't think I could go back and do that. I don't know. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.